PLC Network here with another unboxing, this time coming from the company Escort. And this is the Escort Max 360C Mark II radar detector, which has a lot in common and some things not so much with the original model, which was just the Max 360C. You get 360-degree protection. You get that OLED display screen that gives you bright colors and vivid details of all the stuff happening on it. You have voice alerts, Wi-Fi for updates, or Bluetooth to your phone, but that gets even better this time around, and some of the very best accuracy and range that you can get out of a radar detector. The Max 360C was kind of a winner for us when it came out, and kind of held the record until probably this guy, which we haven't tested yet. We haven't even opened the box yet. But this one comes with some upgrades, hence the Mark II. It's kind of like a Canon DSLR. It just keeps getting better. With the new model comes certain upgrades, including a 50% improved range thanks to a new processor inside that's a little bit more powerful than the last. You also have much faster response times due to a Blackfin DSP chip inside, and the Wi-Fi has been upgraded. Before, it supported just 2.4 gigahertz, as well as Bluetooth to your phone for updates. So some of the past detectors you had to connect via USB to a laptop or something in your car in order to be able to send updates to them. In this case, you could do it wirelessly via Bluetooth straight to the app, or Wi-Fi connected to your car's in-car Wi-Fi service if it offers that feature. Else you'll have to use a hotspot. But there were certain, I won't say complaints, so much just observations made by others that it only supported 2.4, so if you had, a strong 5 gigahertz network, it wasn't making use of it. Now, I mean, that's apples versus oranges. I mean, both of them are strong Wi-Fi networks for something like this. But for whatever reason, maybe your car only offers 5 gigahertz, which, whatever. If so, this will be able to handle both of them now. This offers 2.4 and 5 gigahertz connectivity. And again, that includes firmware updates for over-the-air updates for just keeping the software up to date, as well as live updates involving red light cameras and other things to watch out for. Except for when you're using Bluetooth, because in that case, you're still using the Drive Smarter app, which will be handling all that via Bluetooth. So your phone's pretty much doing all the live updates and of all that information. So Wi-Fi, straight to the unit. Bluetooth is via the app. Now, one of the big upgrades that you can always look forward to with something like this, which was like a big deal with the Max 360C, was a quieter ride. And that's all due to reduced false alerts caused by IVT, which is in-vehicle technologies. Now that all these vehicles are driving around with smart tech built into them, with LiDAR and ultrasonic and camera technology, sometimes some of this is operating at certain frequencies that just happen to trample into the K and Ka range. Mostly K range. It's almost always K range, but the K band will sometimes falsely trigger because of that. And that can be a mess if you have an older radar detector that's constantly going off with K-band every single time one of the newer cars drives by you. Hence, Max 360C helps eliminate a lot of that. So we're hoping to see even better filtering with the Mark II. I mean, they are promising new false alert software on board. So this definitely becomes Escort's flagship radar detector. And of course, with that comes the price. The MSRP on this one's gonna be a little bit more than the Mark I, which isn't really officially called Mark I, but the original model. The original model MSRP'd for $649. This one retails for $700. So a $50 increase right there. Probably mostly due to just the global supply chain and inflation more than anything else. But let's go ahead and take a look inside the box, because that's what we're really wanting to see today, is what does it look like, what does it come with? And then we're gonna spend a lot of time with this on the road to see how well it compares to the Max 360C. So everything's looking kind of familiar here. We have a, hey, stop, congratulations. Please do not return this product to the store. If you have any issues, they want you to reach out to them. They want to be able to have a chance to be able to help you and answer any questions that you may have before you just assume that something doesn't work and you send it back. And you have a quick start guide, which just kind of runs you through the basics of what all the buttons do. You have yours, tells you where your speaker is, your easy mag mount, so you still have the same exact magnetic mount. Power, brightness, volume up, mute, display, mark location, volume down, sensitivity. Practically the same exact unit, just with better hardware inside. It's kind of like the 9500i versus the 9500iX. So we have your typical pigtail cable. You have your nice suction mount, which was also a highlighted point by us with the Max 360C. We absolutely loved the windshield mount. It was better than some of the older ones that had like 3 little small suction cups. This is a nice massive suction cup that's gonna help keep it attached to the window and with your magnet here. So this is the cool magnet mount that this radar detector uses over the old ones, which used to have to slide in and clip into place. This is just, it's easier to remove, so you can just kind of tip the front nose of it and it just pops off for the most part. And you don't have to sit there and play with the switch and pull it in and out and scratch it all up. And it's also important to point out that you can get special third-party mounts for the Escort radar detectors, which we highly recommend. They are a little expensive, so there is some there's some inflation there. Especially as of recently, we've seen some of the ones for like Teslas, they wanted like $150 for the mount. And all of this is just a couple pieces of metal to screw together and then clip onto your mirror. It's kind of crazy, but maybe it's a Tesla tax. I think somebody's getting greedy somewhere. I saw somebody else use that term online as well. I'm definitely gonna use that. Greed might be a factor of that one. However, if you want the user friendliness of it, it's nice to get one of those mounts because it'll allow you to attach it to your mirror and not the windshield, so it's not going anywhere. So sometimes, especially here in Vegas, the heat does not do well for suction cups, so things don't really stay on the windshield as long as they should. And you don't want a $700 radar detector falling off your windshield. So if you can find the mirror mount for an affordable price somewhere online, let it be eBay or anywhere else, we highly recommend it. And they also have mirror taps and other things as well, depending on your vehicle. Sometimes, like previous vehicle I was driving around, I was able to mirror tap right into the back of the mirror's harness, the powered mirror's harness. So you have to have a harness plugged into your mirror to be able to make use of that. But it allows the radar detector to power on and off with the car without any intervention from the user. Some other vehicles don't have that option to be able to tap onto the back of the mirror. Teslas, for example, which is a discussion we've had recently here, you actually have to run a wire all the way down and tap into a harness somewhere else, like in the side door somewhere. But it's still incredibly user-friendly because you don't have to worry about plugging the 12-volt adapter in and out every single time if your car doesn't automatically turn off the 12-volt connection in your car. So something to keep in mind. But in the meantime, you do have at least a very good suction cup here with a magnetic mount. And then you have that 12-volt adapter. So this is your pigtailed adapter here, just a portion of it's pigtailed to get that extra length. If you don't need the extra length, this helps shorten it up a bit. So one plugs into your 12-volt outlet adapter. This is the adapter, but into the outlet. And then you have an RJ11 connection here with just a few wires. And then you have the same options down here below. You just have your LEDs that show you status. You have your instant mute button, so if you don't want to reach up for it, it's easier to reach down and hit the mute button from here. If you just want it to mute while it's going off, you can do that. And it has a USB port for convenience on the front in case you still want to use that outlet for something else. Then you have that case. It's nice. It's not a semi-hard shell or anything. It's just a soft but thick, soft travel case here to keep it safe with. And it is more than capable of achieving that. And it looks nice. You got this little blue trim that's running around the sides on both top and bottom, as well as the Escort logo in white. On the back, you have a little card here that slides in and out that just has contact information for Escort, the website, phone number, email address in case you need any information. For example, if you miss the information on this card, you always have that with you at all times. Escort offers pretty good customer service, so it's nice to see that they're always kind of making that available to you. And then of course, the most important thing, the radar detector. And as mentioned, this radar detector is pretty much exactly the same as the previous, the original Max 360C. Nothing has really changed, it looks like. At least nothing pops out to me just looking at it here. There might be some different color tones in there or something. Maybe the shades are slightly different, but for the most part, it's exactly the same because what you're paying for is on the inside. This is just a revised version of the Max 360C with better response times, better filtering for IVT, and better range, as well as some of those other perks that we talked about, like 5 gigahertz compatibility now that's been added to it. So really, it's more about just, it's more powerful than the previous model. It can see further, respond faster, and ignore more false alerts. So that's some of the biggest things you can ever ask for in a radar detector. And the weight is pretty much the same. You have your speaker right here in the front, or excuse me, on the bottom of it. On the top here, this is where all your buttons are. You have your sensitivity, your brightness, your power, your mark, this location. So if you want to mark it in speed trap, red light camera, whatever the case may be, you have volume up, volume down, and your mute buttons. Exactly the same as the previous unit. So now that you've seen it up close and you can see what it looks like, and you can confront all doubts on if it looks different from the previous original model, now we can focus on how well it works. And for that, you're going to go to POCnetwork.net, where we're going to have a full review about this later on once we've had time to actually play with this. And we are definitely going to drive all over the place with this to see how well it reacts to false alerts and everything else, as well as speed traps or anything else we can find on the street over the next number of days. And we will take all of that data and put it into the review at POCnetwork.net once we've had enough information to be able to provide you with an opinion. And you'll find links to this in the description. We'll definitely include the link to the review, as well as links to where you can find this radar detector online. So definitely check out that description. And if you liked what you've seen here, don't forget to subscribe and follow us, as well as tick that like button and let us know you liked the video. And use the comment section to let us know what's on your mind. If you have any questions for each other or for us, or any kind of comments or opinions you'd like to share, definitely use the comments section below. And as always, we thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time. If you want to stay on top of all the latest and greatest, and or at least the gadgets we cover, remember to subscribe right here. Subscription button. Click it. You're going to want to. There's lots of videos, interviews, previews, all sorts of stuff. Button. Click it.